hello my beautiful Capricorn, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for mid-November right through to mid-December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. But you may notice that I'm in a different environment. I've just gone to visit my family for a couple of days, but I will be back in my usual space after that. And you may also notice that there is a lot of traffic in the background, okay? This is a wonderful place, but it is on a main road. I hope it does not impede on your listening experience. But if you're just wondering, what is that noise in the background? It is many different cars and the odd lorry that is super loud, so just be mindful of that. Okay, so let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Thank you so much, spirit guides, great angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know regarding their love life? Can you please show them the way? Who is coming towards them? What do they need to know at this moment in time? So we have the Justice card there as your protagonist energy, and it says cause and effect. So something that you literally do is about to affect where you meet the person of your dreams. But I feel you're making a lot of adjustments in your life right now. You're doing what is right for you, dedicating yourself to yourself, self-care needs, but also trying to remain balanced and harmonious in life and remove any drama from your life. You know, I feel like you are kind of trying to align yourself with someone who shares your life philosophy, your belief system, and of course, you may feel it's time that love comes into your life, but we have the Hermit there. So a lot of you have been withdrawn from the dating scene because either you feel it's not the right time, you've got many other priorities that you have on your plate right now. For some of you, if you've been in a high-level commitment in the past, you may be healing from that and kind of like bringing all your relationships into review at this moment in time in order to, you know, sort through or dissect what lessons you learnt there. But the Hermit indicates that you have been withdrawn from the dating scene. Perhaps you've not met anyone who aligns with what you desire in a relationship or who shares your belief system in some way. But I definitely see here that you're making some adjustments in your life. I feel like actually a lot of you have been navigating change. Things have been so kind of like, you know, 2 steps forward, 4 steps back in your life. You've been trying to stay on top of things, manage things as much as possible, be flexible. And you may have put yourself out there to see if there's anyone on the dating scene, as it were. But you may have met a lot of people who are very heady. And what I mean by that is they're in their head overthinking things. They may have had baggage, or they're just not opening themselves up to the love that you truly deserve and desire. So I feel after a period of being withdrawn from the dating scene because you have the Hermit in the resistance position, that's kind of where you want it to be, which means you're getting yourself out there, you're taking action, you're taking charge of your life. And I feel a lot of you, it's this energy of like, it's time. And I really feel there's something that you either book or do for you that is the catalyst for change, the ripple effect in your life that puts you in the path to meet this new person. Now, for some of you, because the Justice card showed up right at the beginning there, it can indicate some of you have had an experience in the past where you were let down and perhaps betrayed in some way, or someone was dishonest with you, because the truth is so important to you anyway, but it can be doubly reinforced as a protagonist energy. And I feel a lot of you may have withdrawn from love because you felt that people just can't be honest. And you're someone who is like super honest. Even if, you know, it's something that you don't want to hear, you'd rather hear it and someone be honest. You know, you'd rather be hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. You know, you're that sort of person. So I feel there is an energy here of you kind of like looking at your, you know, belief system in and around marriage, because of course this card is a card of commitment. It can be a marriage card there. So some of you, if you have been in a high level commitment in the past or married in the past, this can indicate that you withdrew from the dating scene for a while in order to heal or process there. But if, for example, some of you have not had an experience in love in the past, I feel some of you may have felt it wasn't fair. It always seems like it's never the right time. And you've just got busy doing you, prioritizing your own needs. You're very self-sufficient. You're someone who is a best friend to yourself. But I feel like you're tapping into your soul song at this time. You're vibing at a frequency where you are calling in the one. I do see a divine counterpart here for you. But I feel like you had to be on pause on purpose to learn more about yourself, to get clear on what you want. And I feel a lot of you have priorities, responsibilities, duties, because you actually have the Emperor there with the Justice card. So I feel like you're trying to do something monumental in your life that is a sense of duty or a calling, or you have responsibilities that you have kind of dedicated yourself to at this time. And it meant withdrawing briefly from the dating scene. But a lot of you may have also felt that there's a deficiency in the dating scene or the dating pool. You know, you're like, what dating scene? You have a longing to be in a high level commitment, but you may feel it's a cold, dark place right now. And, you know, there's no one vibing at your frequency who has that spark. So you felt it's not worth your time investing in. You've got other things that are more important for you at this moment. But there is, you know, a dream catcher on that hand right there. So the Hermit can indicate that you've gone inwards, you're seeking answers, you are on a spiritual journey of self-discovery right now. You are also calling in a wish. But because the Dreamcatcher is on the hand, it means you do something to influence your circumstances. So you're either booking something, attending something, or, you know, doing something for you when you meet this person. I need to find out a little bit more when I get to the Celtic Cross about the details, but we have the Emperor as the outcome. Now the Emperor is taking charge, leadership in your life. It's about taking action, but also it is about success. So whatever it is you desire to achieve right now, you will be successful at that. A lot of you, you know, you're in business mode. Even if you're retired, you have projects that you're doing. You are focused on giving back to self, investing in self at this time. But the Emperor energy also indicates, you know, a divine counterpart. So it can mean that you are about to meet a person who matches your frequency, you know, because it is a person here. It says leadership. You need someone who is strong enough to walk by your side. So I do feel that, you know, you will meet a person who's reliable, who's honest. This person actually has a lot of authority. So either they are an authoritative figure on something, they have a niche perhaps, or for some of you, if you're retired, this person may have worked in a very authoritative position, have their own business, or they work for the services in some way. You know, I'm just getting an energy of someone who's very brave, someone who, you know, their word is their bond coming on in. But I also get the sense of them being like softer in your presence, like allowing you in. Someone who is very private, doesn't open themselves up to everybody, but when they meet you, their softer side comes out, and both of you connect to your wild side when you're with each other. But I need to go to the Celtic Cross just to see a little bit more detail. Now I'm seeing two things in the water right now. I'm not sure how they're relevant, but I'm going to give you what I can see. I can only give you what I can see, and I will try to decode it for you. But I'm seeing like a planetarium with loads of stars. It's beautiful, it's magical. I feel it's very much a planetarium rather than just looking up at the stars in the sky. I feel it is something that you go to visit. So that's something that's coming out there. But on top of it, I'm being shown like a stamp. And it looks like a stamp like travel. You know, if someone stamps your visa or your passport or something like that. So I'm not sure how that's relevant. So either some of you are traveling or thinking about relocating, or perhaps you're going to go on a vacation. None of your cards suggest that right now. We'll go to the Celtic Cross to see that. But perhaps you get a stamp going into the planetarium. Maybe they work or have some sort of interest in astronomy, or maybe you do. I'm not really sure. I can only give you what I can see, but perhaps it's going to be something you see. It may be a reel that pops up where there's planetarium and there's like a stamp. Maybe it's in a different country. Maybe you're going to go visit it. I'm not sure. Maybe it's even going to be a conversation about it when you meet this person and go on a date with them. But let's get to the Celtic cross. That's the image I can see right now. So let us see what's happening for you in the pathway towards what you are going to experience. Your first card there is the Nine of Wands. So whoever I'm picking up on, there is a detachment here. So it can be that, you have been quite detached from the dating scene for a little while. You may feel that you had to protect yourself because the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So some of you may have, been in an experience that broke you down, made you tired. I mean, a lot of you, Nine of Wands, you're exhausted with the dating options. You may feel that people tend to disappoint, or they're very transient. They're not looking for what you're looking for. They may be after the physical goodies rather than, emotionally investing in a relationship there. But also, I feel a lot of you have a lot on your plate. So if you're going through a period of healing based on a previous experience, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. You did the right thing to give back to yourself and take your time. The right person, the right scenario, the right situation will always be put in front of you in the right time. So relax. I always say what is meant for you will never pass you by. You have the Eight of Pentacles on the earthly plane position. This tells me that you are trying to be in some sort of routine. It also tells me that you're giving back to yourself. 8 is the number of the self. You're prioritizing your own needs, what is right for you. You're not being selfish. You're just giving back to you because, you are someone who tends to give a lot of yourself to other people, especially in relationships. So I feel this is your time to invest in things that interest you. We also have a Queen of Cups there. Now that's in a past position, so it tells me that a lot of you have loved in the past, whether it was unrequited love or whether it was that you loved and lost or something just came to its natural conclusion. I feel you've been waiting for a long time and you are deep down really ready to fall in love. You want to fall in love for sure, and you have a beautiful heart and you are lovable, but I feel you've had other things that you needed to do. So the Nine of Wands can tell me that a lot of you are like kind of putting love off a little bit, saying, you know what, maybe tomorrow, maybe, at a certain age or a certain time. I feel like you've been prioritizing maybe your career or business. I'm not sure. For some of you, this is something that has come out there. Maybe this is something that you're having a bit of a wake-up call on right now. You're like, something that you decided has had an effect on your dating life, but I feel it's in response to something that you experienced and you've been processing this, okay? So we have the Chariot card. Now the Chariot card is movement and improvement. It's been a slow process, but I feel like you are going to see some movement in your love life. Some of you may be traveling. It is often overseas travel or some sort of quick travel. It doesn't have to be overseas, but it definitely means you're coming out of your comfort zone. You're out of your usual parameters with the Chariot energy. I mean, some of you may even be thinking about relocating, but if you're not, it doesn't mean that you have to relocate to find love. It can be that you're just going to attend something or book something or do something that you enjoy that is outside of the familiar places that you frequent, okay? We have the Three of Cups. So that's a group activity, that's party time, that's having fun, invitations. If you're invited to a friend's birthday, house party, barbecue, some sort of seasonal party or festivity, maybe even an engagement or a wedding, I would say that there is a strong potential that you could meet a person in group activity there. But I mean, I am also being given this energy of a friend trying to set you up with someone. And looking at the energy, I feel like you're not about it. I feel like you kind of wait. You're like, no, that person's lovely, but they're not for me. Yeah, the Ten of Wands, you kind of let someone down or you end something. You're like, no, that's not right. But also, the Ten of Wands is very interesting because the Ten of Wands often means that you're nearly there to where you want to be. So that can be in your desires, your ambitions, but also as this is a singles love reading, most importantly, you're going to be very close to being in a relationship. So we've got Ten of Wands, we got the Five of Cups. Yeah, you let someone down, as I said. You let someone down. A friend, I feel, tries to either align you with someone or even just in passing says, well, what about this person? And you're like, yeah, no, that's not for me. So is there love coming for you? The answer is yes. Five of Cups. I kind of like to see a Five of Cups in a singles reading because it means where you feel like there's been a disappointment or a shortage or a difficulty, suddenly the universe aligns you with the right person. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there is a figure standing, lamenting 3 cups that have spilt. Normally that means that the person has had experiences that didn't go their way, were left disappointed or shocked or, saddened by these experiences. It can indicate that oftentimes you feel a little bit lonely, but you're very independent, self-assured, that you actually pull yourself out of that as well. But it also means that figure could just be aware and turn around or change direction or do something different and see that there is 2 cups being offered by the universe. The universe is suggesting that the best is yet to come. There is an alignment with a union coming on in here for you. And whilst you are busy kind of thinking, oh, there's nobody out there, or even, as I said, a friend is going to say, well, what about this person? Or actually may invite you to something where they bring someone along and you're going to get vibes like, am I being set up here? And you're going to be like, you know what? They're really awesome, but they're just not for me. There's nothing wrong with this person. I feel like they are an awesome person, but they just don't have that spark, that je ne sais quoi. And the next person, of course, that you meet based on something that you book or do for yourself is where you meet commitment. Because the Chariot card actually means commitment as well. It means to be driven towards something, to commit to it. And if you want to be successful in your career, you commit to a certain path. If you want to be successful in love or find love, you commit to a certain path. You allow yourself to be seen. So I feel like you're taking the initiative to do something that perhaps you've been wanting to do for a long time. You have a 2 of Wands here. It even says leaving home on this card. So a lot of you may not be meeting someone online. It'll be where you go out of your home space in some way. And as I mentioned, some of you are thinking about relocating as well, going overseas or doing something a little bit bold, daring, and different. But ultimately, I feel like you're out and about when you meet this new person. Your first card there, though, is the 9 of Wands, which means you're not giving up on love, okay? Love certainly hasn't given up on you, but the 9 of Wands can indicate that you're under a lot of pressure, you have a lot going on right now, a lot on your mind, and you may have been keeping love to some degree at arm's length, because this is a very guarded card. So it can be that you're working through some barriers or you're erecting healthier boundaries in order to make sure that no one, crosses a boundary. It can indicate that you have a lack of confidence in the dating scene right now. And, you're building in confidence within yourself. You're trying to learn to have faith that love will come on in, but you can't see it right now. With the Justice card, you're a realist. You're the sort of person who's like, okay, are the facts presented in front of me? I don't see the facts, so therefore the facts are, if I can't see love in front of me, it's not here right now, it's not coming. Until I see it happening, then I'll believe it's happening. So I feel like you're trying to temper your energy and trying to romance your life a little bit more, or, there is going to be a period here where you reflect on the sort of relationship you want and really visualize it, and it's going to happen for you. It's going to materialize. I feel like you're going to meet a person that it's really interesting because I'm seeing these 2 hands coming together in that picture, but in the water I'm seeing 2 hands coming together, and it's like one person is passing a pomegranate to the other. So random, so random. I mean, in mythology, pomegranates actually connected to love and the heart space. So this could be symbolic. Maybe it is some sort of cultural kind of process where you give the love of your life like a pomegranate. I'm not sure. I'm going to look that up. It's quite exciting to see this. Sometimes things come through and I'm like, I don't know, but I'm excited to know. So I run off and kind of check it out and see what it is, or if it's true, or if there's any fact to it. But I'm seeing that image in the water right now. One person handing a pomegranate to another. So, I mean, this could be something in your future with a new person, but also it could be relevant to a person's culture, or it could be something that you'll see in a reel or a movie or something in the next coming weeks or months, and that highlights that you're about to meet a person that you're going to fall head over heels in love with, and vice versa, okay? Now, the 9 of Wands here says resilience and taking the last stand. So a lot of you may be like, you know what, I'm going to get myself out there again. One more time, let's see. Okay, and actually it will be one more time because this is when you meet your soulmate. So there's going to be no other times of having to get yourself out there after this. Now, I'm not saying you're going out there like on the dating scene doing speed dating or, trying to go to singles events. I'm not saying that at all. I feel actually something you do for you is where you meet this person, okay? Now, the Strength card is the crossing position. You've struggled with finding the right one. You read the reverse of the Strength card when it's in a crossing position. Strength card is all about self-love, going through your personal feelings in order to temper those overwhelming emotions. It also indicates that you have been vigilant, sometimes keeping your eyes peeled. Is there anyone out there? But then it's left you feeling a little bit empty or a little bit bereft, thinking, oh my gosh, I tried, but it didn't work out. So every time you've tried to think about dating, it just feels like it didn't go the way you hoped for. So you thought, well, what's the point in trying? So then you started giving back to yourself there. And I feel this is a card of you kind of leading more into your creativities. You've been removing a lot of drama from your life, but you will conquer the obstacle. You will find the person that you are meant to be with. And it says here, courage, inner strength, and conviction. So you're having the courage to follow your heart. There's a whisper right now, something that perhaps you've been meaning to get around to doing for a very long time. Either it's in the planning stages or you've been meaning to do it. You've said, I'll do it next year, or I'll do it next month, or I'll do it whenever it is that you're going to do it. You're going to be really glad that you did it. If it was a possibility to have done it sooner, you probably would have wished that you'd done it sooner. However, the person you're about to meet was not ready. So when you do it this time round, it's because they're ready and you are ready, and you come together in your heart space, and it is an alignment, a very passionate relationship. Now, on the earthly plane position, we have the 8 of Pentacles. This is you giving back to yourself. 8 is the number of the self. So you've been working really hard. This is you committed to a routine or a repetitive cycle that perhaps you feel comfortable in right now, but also it may have got to a point where you feel like you've dedicated yourself so much to those things that now it's time to find a little bit more balance, create more space to allow love to come on in, because you can want love, but do you have space for it in your life? If you're multitasking, you have lots of duty or responsibilities, where is the time? If you don't even have time for yourself with that 9 of Wands there, because that's a card of stress or exhaustion and, doing it all, holding it all together, especially since it moves to a 10 of Wands there, where's the space for a relationship to come on in? So I feel a lot of you could be working through that right now. I feel with that 8 of Pentacles, this is about you following your passions. 8 of Pentacles also can indicate that some of you have been thinking about booking a course or, engaging in some sort of education. It could be something that you travel to. It could also be like spiritual education. It could be like a spiritual retreat or some place that gives back. It could be meditation. It could also be that you're upskilling in a talent or skill that you have, or even in your working environment. It could even be a passion that you have that you want to learn more about, a hobby perhaps. Whatever it is, it's something for you and you want to learn more about it, or you want to commit yourself more to it, and it will put you in a group setting. So I don't feel it's something online. For a lot of you, it's something that you go to, you travel to, and you commit to or dedicate yourself to for a certain period of time. It could even be like a workshop for a weekend. Whatever it is, I feel this is where you meet a person that you fall in love with, and vice versa. And it says here, diligence, passion, and high standards. Yes, during this pause, you are, basically making sure you have higher standards. Not that your standards were low before, it just means that you're erecting healthier boundaries. You've had a lot of lessons that you've learned in relationships. The Queen of Cups tends to tell me that you're an overgiver in relationships. Queen of Cups is someone who is wonderfully open, sensitive, caring, has a lot of empathy, understanding. You're a good listener, a great friend and lover. When you go into a relationship, you fall hard, you fall deep, because you do not fall in love easily. And because we have a window pane right there, I feel like, you let someone in the past and it caused some sort of pain, misunderstanding, or sadness. And also you gave so much of yourself. So you may be tempering with that Justice energy, because there's always the scales in the Justice card. You may be looking at balance and reciprocity, because you tend to overgive in relationships. It's not that you're not going to be giving to a new relationship. It means that you're going to create the space for them to come to you as well, to give to you, so that you're not always just bringing the magic. But it says here compassion, calmness, and comfort. And I feel a lot of you have been trying to create that The world has been very changeable over the last couple of years. A lot of pressure has been there for humanity in general. I feel like you're trying to find stability in your current circumstances, trying to build a life of comfort. And I feel almost like you've been managing things. Yes, you've been under pressure, but you've been trying to like remain in the safe zone, as it were, when it comes to life in general. And now I feel like you're awakening to the point where you want to share your life with somebody, okay? And we have that Two of Wands. It's the presiding energy over your Celtic cross. It tells me you've been waiting. Two of Wands is wait. It's restlessness, but also it's an expectation that you feel may not have been met yet. You have an appetite, a yearning for a partner to come on in. And you want someone who kind of like mirrors your love language, because you're always the person who brings the magic, the love, the depth. You know, you're always booking the good things, the interesting things to do. You're always being very thoughtful about the other person's needs. And now you need to meet a person who gives back in the same way. And of course, humans, we can't always give back in the same way, but you need someone who is balanced, honest, and true, that wants to work in a relationship so that it will last the test of time. Now, the Two of Wands is often connected to something you're planning. Okay, it's an ambition of yours, it's a plan that you've got, you're designing a plan, maybe it's a project, whatever it is. I feel like you're in the throes of it. This is something that personally is going to work for you, but also it is something that puts you in the path of meeting this new person. So it's connected to something that you book or something that you plan for your future. And out of that vision comes a person who joins you in life and in love. And it says here, planning, making a decision, and leaving home, as I said earlier, leaving your comfort zone is something that I feel is relevant here. And I feel a lot of you with that Two of Wands, you were put on hold on purpose to really like learn more about yourself. You acknowledged it was a time to wait. And often, you know, you're the sort of person who is not going to settle for second best. You're not going to settle down with a person and be like, oh, they'll do because there's no one else around. You're the sort of person who will wait. You'll wait for, you know, the love of your life to come along. So I feel like, yes, you have been waiting, but I feel this is you being aligned with something better. And often a Two of Wands kind of means like, what are you waiting for? Get out there. There's a whole wide world to explore. And if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the figure holds one wand in their hand because they're ready to embark on a new adventure. It just has to be the right timing and the right conditions. And there's one wand behind them because they're leaving something from the past behind. So I feel like you've been, you know, sorting through a lot in your life and you're waiting for the right moment to take action on something. And when you do, when you get moving, that's when everything starts to improve there. The Chariot card actually means willpower or action, doing something that you will triumph at. There's a lot of energy. You're committed to following through on your plans. And I feel this is where you find progress. Also, I feel like there's a lot of confidence here, but you feel this assertion or this bravery to get out there and do something exciting for you that will literally have a ripple effect or affect your life in some way. And this puts you in the path of your true love. Okay, it says here self-control, discipline, and success. So some of you may have, and this may not resonate with all of you, but it's something that's coming through in this reading. It's like through self-control, you've been kind of like, it's not the right conditions. It's not the right timing. And also I feel like you haven't met a person who has that spark, that je ne sais quoi, that big, you know, love story that you're looking for. So you've been content to wait, frustrated, of course, to wait, but you've accepted and acknowledged, and you've been working with the resources that you've got right now. And okay, wow. I'm hearing two songs. It's so rare to get two songs together. I have to really tune into both of these. So first off, I heard Going to the Chapel and We're Gonna Get Married. Okay, that's a very famous song. It came out many, many years ago, I think, in a reading. Maybe not for your sign, but I'm hearing it right now. And then there's a more modern song coming through as well. So it's Love Me to My Bones. There was another sentence before it, but I couldn't quite grasp it. Let me see if it comes around again. Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones. Now this is a very famous modern song actually, and I do know this song too. I think this may have come up in a reading, maybe that's why I know it. May have had to research it to find out what it was. Miles Smith. Oh, and it is stargazing. So I saw planetarium earlier. So maybe there's definitely a connection with astrology or astronomy, or, you know, some sort of maybe a date suggestion to go to a planetarium or stargazing. I mean, I'm not seeing any shooting stars. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that. Listen out for those two songs. They may even play back to back on a radio station or in a film or something, because they came together to the point where I had to like tune out of one to really hear the other. So yeah, listen out for those songs. They may be relevant, they may not be relevant, but you know, I feel they're a signpost to let you become aware that, you know, there is true love waiting for you and you will discover it, okay? Now, your advice to yourself in this moment, Three of Cups, is go out there, have fun, enjoy the moment. You know, live in the moment, lean into friendship, or at least find a community that you align with. This is about enjoying yourself, going out there and dancing. For some of you, you may be called to learn a certain dance, for example. You may attend some sort of like, what is that? Well, I don't know what the dance is that I'm seeing right now, but I just heard cha-cha-cha. So I'm not really au fait with different dance styles, so do forgive me on that. I can't know everything in the world, but my guides are not giving it to me. I just heard cha-cha-cha. So that could be a certain type of dance that I don't really know. Is there a dance called cha-cha-cha? There may be, I don't know. So I'm just going to leave that there. But it says here, friendship, community, and happiness. And I do feel this is significant because I feel there is a friend who tries to align you with someone, or at least suggest someone for a romantic interest, and you're like, no, I'm not interested in that person. But I feel shortly after that, you meet the one, okay? But the Three of Cups is basically like, be in company of like-minded individuals, celebrate the moment, but there could also be some sort of actual celebration that you're invited to that may happen before you meet the one. Okay, the circumstances outside of yourself, we've got the King of Wands. Now the King of Wands is actually a person, okay? Someone who's got that spark, someone who's bold enough to walk by your side, someone that intrigues you, is magnetic. You know, you're an earth element, this person is fire, 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 and I feel this person, whilst they are passionate, you know, the King of Wands is someone who's very attractive, both inside and out. They are very dedicated to family. They're a leader as well, very protective. A lot of people misconstrue a King of Wands, but this person, they think of the bigger picture. They think of the long term. They are someone who, you know, when they know something that is good that they want, they go after it. So when they meet you, they are going to pursue you. They may even, well, they're not going to come on strong. You're not going to be like freaked out by this person, but you're going to admire the fact that they are really open, and there's no like games. There's no kind of like, because I'm hearing like there's no dating rules. So it's like, you know, if you meet a person and you exchange details and it's like, you at least wait 2 or 3 days to call them or text them and say, because you don't want to be like too eager. There's nothing like that with this person. This person's like, you know what? I thought of you. I called you. I thought of you, I text you. I thought of you, I sent you a gift. This person is living in the moment, and they are so refreshing, this person. So I feel you're going to be quite enamored by this person, but it will develop into love, okay? This person wants to settle down. They're looking to build a family. Now, that family unit is going to look like what you want, because there is a reflection card here and a vibe that you're meeting someone who shares your love language. So if you don't want to have children, that's not what they want either. And it's not that they're copying you or mirroring you for that fact. It's that you're being aligned with someone who wants what you want. So, you know, if you can't have children and you want to go down an adoption route, you know, this person will share those views. There's an energy there. If you are someone who, you know, doesn't want children at all, maybe your family unit looks like you and a pet with your partner, or just you and your partner, whatever it is you want in a relationship, because of course a relationship structure looks totally different to everybody. So what you want, I feel like, will be reflected back to you in the person that the universe is aligning you with. But also I feel this is a card that tells me you're taking the initiative to take action and do something that you're excited by. Okay, and it says here, bigger picture, overcoming the challenge, and a leader. You have strong leader cards here. You and this person, you're very strong personalities. That's why you need someone who complements your life, and someone who does not want to dull your shine, someone who celebrates the strength that you have, doesn't try to put you into a little box of their expectation to make you feel smaller so that they feel bigger. This person loves every aspect of you, and together you complement each other. Now we have the hope and a fear. We've got the Eight of Wands. The fear could be that you don't want to go too quickly into a relationship. You like a measured pace. You like to know where you're at. You don't want to miss any red flags there. Also, you'd hate to give to a very passionate, intense relationship and it just fizzles out, goes nowhere. Okay, so I feel that's why you want to take time, make sure there's a foundation there. Also, I mean, the Eight of Wands, when you apply it to a singles love reading, it literally asks you, is this love or is this lust? So at first, because you have the Justice card, you may be weighing up and keeping this person a little bit at arm's length to kind of like work out, am I feeling love here or is this just physical? So you may kind of temper the relationship pace in order to work out how you're feeling, because I feel like there's an energy of not wanting to get it wrong, but of course you're not going to get it wrong at all. Okay. Eight of Wands, again, is a travel card. It is a movement card. So there could be something about distance, or there could be something about traveling or plans that both of you need to factor in. And you may worry at first, like, well, how are we going to make this work? I'm not saying that this is a long distance relationship at all. Not at all. I feel like you and this person will come together in unity. But there may be some sort of plans or conversations in the future about location of where you should live. And I feel that both of you choose like a place that is encompassing all aspects. It's like you find the midway point of wherever it is you desire to be, okay? But the Eight of Wands is movement and improvement. It basically means you're going to meet a person where there is a flurry of activity, they're going to message you a lot, and I feel like they make you a priority and vice versa. And I feel that this is an energy that you are also embodying, where you're committed to change something about your routine. Of course, 8 is the number of self. So I feel like you are going to be like falling in love with this person, making sure it's not infatuation. You know, I feel also there's some sort of travel going on here with this person. And also there's a fear that, you know, you're stuck in a rut, that you cannot meet anybody, or you meet someone who's closed-minded. You know, I feel like you need someone who's open, someone who is explorative, fun to be with, and I feel that's the sort of person you're meeting, okay? So this card indicates, yes, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. My guides are saying as well that the Eight of Wands can be a reaction to something that you do. So it's like a chemical reaction, or it's like a chain reaction. It feels very much like you have the cause and effect card. So it's like you're going to do something for you, and then suddenly there's like a monumental change. It happens real quick. So when you meet this person, it's like suddenly a reaction to something that you do. It's rushing in. So you're going to meet this person quite quickly, actually, after someone tries to align you with someone else. Because of course we have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, after a person kind of, I feel it's a friend or someone close to you, maybe even a family member who says, what about this person? You're like, no. The Ten of Wands says, you know, you either end something with somebody, or you like feel that, oh my gosh, there's no options out there. It's over. But actually the Ten of Wands means you're a very strong person. So you require someone who's strong enough by your side. And also it means where you're feeling stuck in a rut, you have a desire to change, and you make a positive change by either booking something or doing something that is out of your usual parameters, out of your comfort zone. And it normally means you're nearly there to meeting the one. So as you can see here, it says accomplishment, responsibilities, burdens. So I feel a lot of you do have a lot on your plate right now. And perhaps when you complete something, or you feel you're in a more manageable state, that's when the universe is sending you in the one. But if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you know, there's a figure carrying all the wands. And I often reference this deck because pictorially it gives you more of an indication of what the card is about. So it can be that, you know, this person's got a lot on. They're holding it all together. It's hard. You're exhausted. You don't have time. And when you do have time, you're challenged, or you're just so exhausted that you're like fed up. But also it can be that you're sorting through your baggage, and the figure is nearly at the home space. So you may have met a lot of people, but no one who feels like home until you meet this new person. So I really feel like you're going to accomplish what you set out to do. And although you have something that is a plan that you're about to carry out for you personally, I feel that opens the door to this new love. So we have this Five of Cups. The Five of Cups, as I mentioned earlier, is like you lamenting that actually there's just no one out there. Love is so disappointing. The dating scene is just bereft. It's non-existent. And then suddenly the universe arrives with 2 cups, a union for you, a happy ever after. And it's like you're appreciating the moment when you meet this person, and it feels like you let someone down or you disappoint someone. I mean, it could be that, you know, someone's just trying to help you, like a friend trying to help you, or it can be that physically someone is interested in you and you're like, no, that's not the one. Of course, if someone's trying to set you up with someone and you feel something for them, then explore it. But looking at the energy here, I feel like you kind of dismiss someone as not being someone who is fulfilling in a relationship. And you're kind of like looking at what's left and you're like, well, there's nothing. And then suddenly the universe goes, surprise, here is the love of your life. Because there's always those 2 cups of love, 2 cups full behind that figure. You cannot see love coming into your life right now, but it will appear in divine timing. And listen out for those 2 songs. Thank you so much for it, guys. Please side. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm loving the trinket that you got because of the card that you got. You got a turtle. Now look at this card, the Chariot card. There's 2 turtles there. So both of you, it's been a slow process, but you're going to meet the person that you feel a secure relationship with. If you think about the turtle, you know, they actually have their home on their back. So it can indicate that, you know, you're meeting a person who's also been searching for home, but you had to find home within yourself first. Also, it means a secure relationship. Slow and steady wins the race. You're not going to rush into this, but I feel like you meet a person who aligns with you, and maybe even a turtle or a tortoise. You know, maybe it's a logo or something significant that you will see over the next coming weeks or months there that highlights that you're about to meet someone who is identical to your vibe, someone who matches your love language in some way. That's why I'm so excited. Someone who's in the flow, but also it could be like if you're traveling or relocating or you're on the go, you're definitely out of the house when you meet this person. It feels like you meet this person and it is love, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. And I also hope that the traffic was not too loud and impeded on your listening experience in any shape or form. Thank you for bearing with me there, but I will be back in my usual space in the next couple of days. So thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn, and love and light.